A major manufacturer over in Fort Payne is closing its doors 2 months after a warn notice went out to plant employees announcing the shutdown. The impact, almost 500 people without jobs going into the new year. Plant employees and city leadership got the notice in late October, and since then there have been multiple job fairs for the affected employees before the plant's closure on the 27th. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to Fort Payne to hear about how this closure will impact the community.
Renfro Brands is closing down its sock manufacturing plant later this month, laying off over 450 people right in the middle of the holidays. It's the last of the city's sock manufacturing industry, which started to decline back in 2008. Mayor Brian Bain says it's going to impact the local economy, but they've taken some steps to make sure the city stays afloat.
We have bounced back from that decline of the sock industry back in 2008. We're not where we need to be, but we have by far come to a place that we've diversified and been able to survive.
With that diversification, Mayor Bain says the city and the Economic Development Authority are working closely with the impacted workers to help them find new jobs.
They put some job fairs together, and they have had various meetings with some of those folks, trying to place them in other positions, because there are other industries here.
Mayor Bain adds that it's unfortunate, but it all comes down to finances.
At the end of the day, it's a business decision for them, and they just feel that they can do better, other places, and maybe they didn't have as many orders as what they needed, and this is where they saw the cut.
Renfro Brands is also looking to transfer some employees from the Fort Payne plant to Cleveland, Tennessee, where they're consolidating, planning to add up to 75 new positions. They said in a statement, current Fort Payne employees will receive priority consideration for new positions being created in Tennessee, adding this manufacturing consolidation will result in overall operations that are more efficient and more flexible. Renfro will maintain its presence with a warehouse and distribution center here in Fort Payne, where they'll retain around 50 employees. In Fort Payne, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The Fort Payne Career Center, DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, and businesses in Fort Payne are also offering assistance to the employees that are being laid off. The Trash Pandas Christmas Light Show at Toyota Field has seen controversy on social media in the past few weeks. From the new layout to additional costs, residents have mixed emotions. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman tells us more.
In previous years, this empty parking lot you see behind me used to be the home of the Rocket City Christmas Light Show. It was a drive-through experience in previous years, but now people walk through Toyota Field for a walk-through experience. But it's not the only difference that residents are noticing. First, let's talk cost. The drive-thru experience used to cost $30 per car. This year's walkthrough is about $28 per person, besides kids 12 and under who get in for free. Prices range from $17 to $28 on non-peak days or if you purchase in advance. One resident says the new cost is unaffordable.
This is not the season to poke people for pennies and nickels. I have hip problems. I don't want to walk through lights. I want to drive, and I want to listen to the music and all of that good stuff. I wasn't planning on going because for a single mom, that's a lot of money.
We also received dozens of comments on social media Thursday afternoon, and the responses were mixed. Many mentioning the new prices. One saying, unless those lights are going to hit a double in the bottom of the 8th inning, I'm not paying that much to see them. Some comments wanting the drive-thru experience back. This comment reading, we won't go back next year if it's not a drive-thru. But there were a few posts from people who enjoyed the experience this year. One post partially reading, I went Tuesday night and thought it was excellent. So much better than the drive-thru, which I did before as well. Kids aged 5 and 7 loved it. So much better than being confined to a car in which you can't go at your own pace. Others mentioned the nearby Galaxy of Lights at the Botanical Garden as another option for families, where walking night prices can range from $7 to $25 and drive-thru nights cost anywhere from $30 to $45. In Madison, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
We reached out to the Trash Pandas, but they did not get back to us for any official comment this afternoon. Residents in Decatur are turning over a new leaf today through a local tree giveaway. The Alabama Urban Forestry Association and volunteers handed out trees all morning in front of Ingalls Pavilion. The association provided a huge selection for people to choose from, a total of 500 trees. The executive director for AUFA says today's giveaway is part of a program they run to support the local government.
We give trees out across the state. We have a program called Alabama Relief. through the Alabama Urban Forestry Association, and we're giving out trees throughout the state to help with the tree canopy, helps with heat islands, global heat islands, helps reduces flooding, and purifies the air. Trees are just good things to plant.
Pretty cool. Well, upon receiving their trees, the association gave recipients tips on how and where to replant the tree for the best chance at success. For many families in Athens, the holiday spirit is already in full swing at Pincham Lincoln Community Center. The Lincoln Bridgeforth Park Committee held its annual toy giveaway today. Volunteers spent the evening handing out toys to kids ranging from 0 to 13. Toys included dolls, action figures, bikes, and more. The councilman for District 3 says it brings him joy to see the children with all the wonderful gifts.
It's so exciting to see the smiles on the children's face. This time of year, we want everyone to get something for Christmas. And we have some bicycles, have about 20-something bicycles that also be given away here. So somebody will go home happy, and I hope. And it's just the time of year that our hearts are set on giving, and we want everyone to at least get something.
Yes, 'tis the season of giving, and Santa kept the children busy while they waited for their turn to pick out a toy. The committee ensured no kid went home without a gift.
An individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valenti.
A days-long manhunt for a killer coming to an end Thursday night. Authorities announcing the Brown University shooting suspect was found dead at a New Hampshire storage facility.
He was a 48-year-old man. He was a Brown student. He was a Portuguese national. And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight.
He was found dead with a satchel, with 2 firearms, and evidence in the car.
Brown University's president said in a statement Neves Valente was enrolled from fall of 2000 to spring 2001 and had no active affiliation with the school at the time of Saturday's shooting. Officials say Neves Valente also murdered an MIT professor days after the Brown University attack.
There is a video footage of him entering an apartment building in the location of the professor's apartment.
Neves Valente and that professor attended the same academic program in Portugal between 1995 and 2000. Authorities made a major breakthrough in the manhunt after a person came to police with information Rhode Island's Attorney General said, quote, blew this case right open.
That person led us to the car, which led us to the name, which led us to the photographs of that individual renting the car, which matched the clothing.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
É uma perda irreparável, obviamente, sobretudo para a família, para os amigos, mas também do ponto de vista científico é uma perda irreparável para a ciência, os contributos que ele deu e que ainda poderia vir a dar. É o cientista que chega à aula, escreve com o giz no quadro, deriva todas as equações para explicar aos alunos os fenómenos, sem um papel, sem nada, escrevia todas as equações e os alunos, sobretudo aqueles que têm uma tendência mais teórica, adoravam isso e era patente, ele gostava daquilo que fazia, os alunos adoravam a forma como ele dava as aulas.
As temps continue to drop this winter, many of us are reaching for space heaters to stay warm. They're convenient, portable, and can help cut down on heating costs. But every year, space heaters are linked to thousands of house fires across the country. So are space heaters actually safe to use in your home? We verify. Portable electric space heaters have become a popular way to heat one room or supplement central heating. But according to the latest data from the National Fire Protection Association, space heaters and heating stoves account for nearly half of home heating equipment fires. So are space heaters safe to use? Let's verify. Our sources are the National Fire Protection Association and Huntsville Fire and Rescue's Assistant Fire Marshal Jerry Tanner. The NFPA reports that heating fires peak during the winter months, with nearly half of all home heating equipment fires occurring between December and February. Assistant Fire Marshal Tanner says space heaters and candles are a leading cause of fires this time of year as people try to stay warm and supplement their heat. Here's what he had to say about whether space heaters are safe to use.
Absolutely they are. As long as you get the right type. Most of them nowadays, they're UL listed, Underwriters Laboratory listed, which means that they're tested.
Tanner says newer models come with important safety features, including automatic shutoff if tipped over, built-in thermostats, and timers. But even with these safety features, space heaters are still a leading cause of fires.
A lot of people will overload a circuit. It's possible. One thing we tell everybody that if you're going to have a space heater plugged into an outlet in your house, don't have anything else plugged into it, because they do draw a lot of power.
Tanner also warns about placing space heaters too close to flammable materials. He says a common problem is people sitting on couches or chairs with space heaters too close, which can cause blankets to catch fire. Tanner emphasizes that heat is heat across the board. Whether it's a newer model or an older one, they all reach temperatures that can cause combustible items to ignite. The NFPA recommends keeping the heater at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, including people. Place the heater on a solid flat surface. Plug the heater directly into the wall outlet and don't have anything else plugged into it. Space heaters should also be turned off and unplugged when you leave the room or go to bed. Tanner also reminds people to make sure they have carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors in their homes.
Every 6 months, the rule of thumb is when we do the time change, is when you should change your batteries. Whether you feel like they need it or not, just make it a habit. When we spring forward with our clocks and we fall back with our clocks, just go ahead and change those batteries out and be safe.
So we can verify that yes, portable electric space heaters are safe to use, but only if you follow specific safety guidelines. So if you're in the market for a space heater this winter season, first purchase a heater that is UL listed. Choose a heater with a thermostat and overheat protection, and make sure your heater has an auto shutoff to turn the heater off if it.
America's cost of living problem is simple math. Inflation spiked several years ago, and paychecks haven't had enough time to catch up.
This week's November jobs report revealed Americans got a raise over the past year. Wages are up about 3.5%, but many people just aren't feeling it.
People just don't feel as confident as they used to, which is sort of a scary place for an economy.
Although Thursday's Consumer Price Index shows the rate of inflation actually slowed in November to 2.7%, that reading may be incomplete due to a disruption in data collection during the shutdown, and there still isn't a lot of wiggle room in people's wallets.
Things that we spend on a regular basis, whether we're eating out at restaurants, filling up our gas tank, paying for our monthly energy bill, it sort of wipes away the income gain.
Moreover, growth in wages isn't hitting all earners equally, according to data from Bank of America. Households with higher incomes saw 4% bumps in pay, while middle and low income households were just 2.3% and 1.4%, respectively. Economist Jadrian Wooten says inflation impacts how pay gains are felt.
Wealthy Americans don't spend a lot of their income on groceries, but low-income Americans who are spending a larger percentage of their income on groceries, if that goes up by 2%, that takes up a much larger increase in their income.
With softening labor markets, sinking wage growth, and prices still on the rise, the 2026 outlook for the economy remains uncertain.
We're seeing mixed signals, and sort of the optimism out of that is that it is possible that the inflation rate continues to come down, that the unemployment rate does sort of level off and start coming back down.
While the inflation rate is the lowest since July, economists caution that the slower reading could be a result of shutdown-related disruptions in that data collection process. In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Harrison Ford's blockbuster films have earned him millions of fans. Now the screen icon is getting some major love from his acting peers. The Screen Actors Guild is giving him its highest honor, the Life Achievement Award. Ford will pick up his prize in March at the Guild's Actor Awards, which will stream live on Netflix. It's time to light the lights. The Muppets are set to return with a new music and comedy special. Sabrina Carpenter will join Kermit and Company for the big event, which arrives February 4th on Disney Plus and ABC.
Sherlock Holmes, sir. It's an unusual name.
Here's a first look at the upcoming Prime Video series Young Sherlock. The show tells the famed detective's origin story involving a globe-trotting mystery from his Oxford University days. Guy Ritchie, who directed the 2 Sherlock films starring Robert Downey Jr., serves as executive producer and helmed the first 2 episodes. Young Sherlock debuts in March. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Welcome to Trending Topics, where we discuss the hottest happenings and give you our hottest takes. I'm your host, Emily Owen, and I'm joined by our reporter and anchor, Gabe Glassman. And up for discussion tonight, the newest addition to Fortnite's list of iconic skins. So Kim Kardashian is the next iconic icon skin, is what they call them. And I was a little surprised because usually the icon skins are musicians because they do it for Fortnite Festival.
Fortnite Festival.
Yeah.
That's the one.
So usually whoever's going to be like the trend of festival is the icon that we'll get. And 9 times out of 10, I truly don't think that I've seen anyone else be an icon other than a musician.
You know, you bring up a really good point. I'm not really sure about the Kim Kardashian stuff. I've barely seen the skin. I've barely played Fortnite.
I bought it.
You bought it.
I
Okay.
did,
So let me ask you. So here's my thing, right? Also new, the Playboy Cardi skin. I'm more
Yes.
excited about that. I think I'm gonna go home after talking to you. I'm gonna go buy that skin. But here's the point I want to bring up. It's so much money. The V-Bucks are so much money.
It is, but I'm a sucker for the Battle Pass, so I get free V-Bucks a month. And I choose wisely who I'm going to spend it on. I had to have Kim Kardashian. Like,
Okay.
I had to. But she has on the latex bodysuit. That's her like signature thing. You can have glasses or no glasses on, like the Yeezy glasses that she always wears.
This is hilarious.
And then she's got her platinum blonde hair. You can go back and forth between like her natural hair and her platinum blonde hair. But her skin looks just like her. Like, it is unreal. Well, that's it for tonight's Trending Topics. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow me on my socials at EmilyOwenWX. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
As the board is aware, University of Alabama System campuses implemented a test optional pilot program during the COVID-19 pandemic that suspended the requirement to submit standardized test scores for consideration in the undergraduate admissions process. Following the resumption of normal campus operations, the system continued this approach as a pilot, during which 5 cohorts of first-time undergraduates matriculated with the option of not submitting an ACT or SAT score. With that context, the resolution before you reflects the recommendation to begin a phased transition back to a test-required admission status for undergraduate students. Students applying for admission for academic year 2026-27 may continue to do so under the current test optional structure, but campuses will set minimum high school GPA thresholds for test optional eligibility and expectations for testing requirements for prospective students who will begin matriculating in academic year 2027-28. All students who begin applying as first-year undergraduate with plans to start their studies in academic year 28-29 and beyond will be required to submit a standardized test score. We have found that standardized test scores provide valuable insight into academic success at our universities, and as part of a holistic review process, serve as a predictor that is helpful to ensure the success of our students. All 3 campuses are preparing for this transition, assuming that the resolution is approved, and will begin communicating planned changes in their campus testing requirements to their prospective applicants as soon as possible. With that, your approval of the resolution is requested.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Any questions or comments from the board concerning this matter? We'll say for the board, the board's been impressed with the thoroughness and diligence that our various campuses have taken with respect to this matter and the thoughtful process that we've gone through to come to this position. I appreciate all the hard work that was put in from numbers and numbers of people. So thank you. Any further discussion with respect to this matter? Okay, all in favor of adopting the resolution as presented by Dr. Johnson, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say no. The resolution is adopted.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime more your style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Download the Fox 54 Plus app today on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, or Samsung TV. Open the app and dive into non-stop content.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.